Ladies and gentlemen, Bungle, hope you're doing well, and I hope you're having a great day. Today we're going over Enlisted, the War II free-to-play first-person shooter. Today we're going over the Battle of Moscow, the PZ.IIIJ. This is a gold order vehicle that you can pick up in Season 3, and this will be costing you 1 gold order. So, it's been kind of highly requested on my channel. We did a little vote, kind of really like a close vote, right? Only 1 vote difference, and really what won here is the PZ.IIIJ. So that is what we are going to redeem and cover for Season 3. Now, kind of what I do here on my channel with all my reviews, I give you an overview. I kind of tell you what this vehicle is. Next, I talk about the performance. You know, how does it perform? Is it good? Is it bad? What is its main feature? And lastly, is it worth it? Is it worth picking up? So, without further ado, let's begin. Now, starting off with the overview. All right, so this is a medium tank. Now, if you've been playing through the campaign levels of the Battle of Moscow on the German side, you start with the Panzer II, and then you progress up to the Panzer III series. And the Panzer III has been a 37mm cannon, the Panzer II, 20mm cannon. So you do, you know, when you're playing it, kind of have a balanced take when you're facing T-60s. And then as you progress against BT-7s and etc., you start noticing that your tank starts struggling a little bit with penetrating, as well as not really doing one-shot kill, not having that big firepower that the Soviets get with their 45mm, 40mm cannons. So one of the big things that I feel that the PZ.IIIJ fixes is that it has really good armor. Now, it's not unstoppable. It can be killed, but it does take a beating. And that's kind of one of the big things I found from playing this tank is that it's pretty strong. And you notice as we go down here and talk about the performance, the 50mm gun actually has the potential to one-shot kill, as well as take out basically everything except, now when you face T-50s, of course, which is the highest vehicle right now in the Soviet tech tree, the best way to take that head on is go aim for the turret and the turret cheeks. Now, if you're facing it on the side, it's pretty easy to penetrate it with this weapon. But, you know, with the 50mm gun and everything like that, definitely a very, very strong tank. I definitely felt that the AP shell was strong. The 50mm gun, I would say, plays kind of similar to the Invasion of Normandy weapon, but here it definitely plays very well for the Battle of Moscow, with taking out lower tier vehicles, and actually does well against T-28s and even the T-50. Now, I didn't really see many T-50s running around. You most likely will face BT-7s, sometimes a T-28, and definitely a lot of T-60s, but this vehicle can handle, a T-60 is not going to do anything to your vehicle. A BT-7, if they know what they're doing, they'll be able to penetrate you, but really depends on the skill level of the player you're facing. And that's kind of the same thing I found when, you know, facing a lot of other Soviet players in their vehicles. Now, I call this a jack of all trades because really it doesn't excel at one thing. It's more of a multi-role. And this is kind of like if you're a new player starting down the line and everything like that, that's where we go down kind of if it's worth it. Now, if you're new to the game or you're thinking about going down the Battle of Moscow for Germany, and your options right now, pretty much starting off out of the gate, is the Panzer II. You know, it's not really going to be a strong tank, really, right now with the meta, especially when we got BT-7s, BT-7 veterans, which is a twitch drop vehicle flying around, driving around the battlefield. This kind of gives you a kind of clear conscience that as you play the game, it will be pretty simple to use. Now, if you're an experienced player and everything like that, and you're thinking about adding this up in your lineup, my personal preference is that I like to take, you know, and this is where it comes in too, if you're a premium player or not. If you're a premium player and you have the Panzer IV Premium, then I would say that I also, personally, I run both Panzer IVs because I most likely find myself engaging infantry than I do rather vehicles. Sometimes there are some games where the Soviet team will not have any vehicles at all, and it's really just player dependent. Me personally, I like having both Panzer IVs out just because of the anti-infantry. That's mostly the dominant thing is anti-infantry. Now, the Panzer, you know, 3J can give you that reassurance that you can take out vehicles and everything like that. There's not going to be an issue. But at the same time, it's not going to be as strong against infantry as a Panzer IVE would. Now, the Panzer IVE, of course, is going to have weaker armor, and it's going to struggle a little bit against, you know, tanks, whereas the Panzer IIIJ, you got that reassurance that the armor is kind of going to help you out in the long run. So it's really player dependent. Me personally, I kind of spec my tanks for anti-infantry. You know, tanks kind of do show up here and there, but in the Battle of Moscow, it really, sometimes there are games where there are no tanks at all. So I like to run both Panzer IVs. But if you're a free-to-play player or, you know, you haven't purchased the Panzer IVE, you can run this with the Panzer IV and basically have a multi-role tank with an anti-infantry tank and you'll do fine. So definitely a very good tank to include in your lineup, especially if you're a new player and you haven't even started down the Battle of Moscow German campaign level. Now, if you're a new player, possibly a new subscriber, well, I hope today is the day that I earn your subscription. Having you subscribe and comment down below does help me with the YouTube algorithm. Returning sub, returning viewer, well, hashtag Bungo Smiley Socks. Other than that, I hope you all have a great day. Let's be honest, no one's watching at this point. And another thing too I'd like to add is that if you want me to cover the previous season's Gold Order vehicles, Season 2, like the M8 Scott, or the Panther 8 from Berlin, the T-3485 from Berlin. All these vehicles you can't purchase right now for, I believe, 1,250 gold, but Bungo went ahead and, picked them up anyway. If you want me to cover them, kind of give you my preference, my perspective on it, let me know. I'll definitely look at it. I know it was kind of neck and neck with the Panzer IV-A versus this. Me personally, especially with the way the meta is going right now in the Battle of Berlin, German teams are not in a good spot. Definitely kind of, if you play it, you will see the win rate is very low. But other than that, I appreciate you all sticking around. I hope you all have a great day. Take care.